most men that get in this hobby lack
No, ma'am,
character.
that is not true.
Most.
No, ma'am,
That
that
is
is not.
fact.
No, ma'am,
Because
that
they
is
have
no,
values. They have
no, ma'am,
character.
no, ma'am.
All right. So after the last Kevin Samuels clip, I saw a lot of mixed reactions, and honestly, I get it. This next one, it's got a different kind of tension, not loud, but sharp. Welcome back to Metal Groove, where we slow down and actually listen. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new here, and let's take this one in together.
Can you hear me?
That's Barbie.
Yes. Can you
Go
hear
ahead.
me?
Yep. Yes, I can. What do you got for me?
Um, I always wanted to call, but this is the first time I've seen you online, and I have some things I want to share. I worked as a girl for
Okay,
like
you are
three
you
years.
hold on just a second. Sound like you got crickets in the background. Do you have another window open or something?
I do have another window open.
Okay, you need to close that.
Okay, let me close.
Just while
Jessica,
we're
what's
here,
going on?
can you hear me?
I can. I got it. What's going on, sis?
Okay, so the main thing that sort of jumped out to me when you were speaking is that um, okay, so you spoke about how you feel men are unwilling to be providers, right?
Uh,
But
I feel like not all men, these kind of guys. Like there's
okay,
the Ace Metaphor video I played up front. So I'm speaking about the video, the Ace Metaphor. But go ahead and make your point.
yeah. So do you think that it could be more of an issue with the type of woman who is seeking men provide for her? Do you think that could be the issue rather than men actually providing in the first place? Because to me, it doesn't come across as men not wanting to provide, but they're saying they don't want to provide to a woman or for a woman who is not worthy of their provision.
Well, here's what I noticed. Men who have a provider mindset don't make that distinction. They know that implicitly. Does that make
So,
sense?
okay, so a guy who has a provider mindset, let's take a successful guy, just say a guy in the business world, he knows what what deals are worthy of his investment, right?
Hmm.
And so maybe these guys are deeming that these women simply are not worthy of his investment.
Well,
They're not.
if a guy is successful in the business world,
Yeah.
that means he knows how to make decisions.
Hmm.
So that being said, everything is not going like me being in sales. Case in point, there are certain areas of town or certain neighborhoods or certain businesses I would not try to go to try to sell a high end product. I would not try to down that part of town or that area because they could not buy their product. I just go where it exists. But what I would not say is this product cannot be sold because of this town, this side of town. So
Okay, but it's. Oh, sorry.
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that these women are everywhere nowadays. It's not as though, okay, you only go to a certain part of town and that's where the woman is going to be. That woman is literally everywhere. And so
You mean
it's making
unworthy
it,
women?
yeah.
I don't know. Where are you? Okay. These women are everywhere. Yeah. And I go places where they are not because I create those. I don't deal with unworthy women. I got an entire group of worthy women. And it's only been a week. See, I come from the standpoint of I understand what you're saying, and then what? I don't worry about what I can't control. I control what I can.
So do you not feel as though it's a problem if the majority of men are finding women who aren't worthy,
I'm
basically, who
telling
don't
you,
even have the.
I don't feel it's a problem because you can if I can do something, you can too as a man. Why would I worry about stuff about a world that I cannot control? If I have the means, I can control it. Okay, a country club, an exclusive club, they don't worry about anything other than their membership. I mean, what am I missing here? I mean, we understand how to be around people like ourselves, a fraternity or sorority. They don't want a certain kind of person in that. You have requirements. And if you have means, you can put restrictions.
And that's okay, right? But still, let's just take it back to the beginning of what you said, which is men aren't willing to provide, and that's more the issue that
I didn't say men aren't willing to
well,
provide.
certain types of men.
Right.
Yeah,
Did
certain
you watch the
types of
video with Ace Metal? Oh, so at what point did you join the broadcast? Did you see it from the beginning?
in his response to, is it TKO,
Tanya
Tanya
TKO.
TKO? That's
Mm-hmm.
it. That's it. Yeah, I saw that. I
Okay.
saw that, and I felt as though what he was saying is that basically he is more than his wallet. That's what I took from what he was saying. That,
Mm-hmm.
okay, yes, I can be a provider, but there are also other facets of me
Mm-hmm.
than just providing. And that seems to be a big issue.
He
Okay, I
said
can hear
he's,
an echo.
and he also said that if all you want me for is my provision, then I don't want it.
Yeah, and I agree with him there
Well, then
because
that okay, but see, and you can, but you're not a man. Men are supposed to be wanted for our provision. What else the fuck are you supposed to want us for? See, love,
you can want him.
all this stuff about love and this westernized, the purpose of, if you want love, buy a dog. If you want unconditional love, go get a dog. Love should have conditions on it.
Okay, and he's not saying that there aren't any conditions on it. He's not saying that he doesn't have to be a provider, but the only condition of a person's love shouldn't be them
Did
merely
you hear
being
this
a
dude talking
provider.
about you need to help? You need to be able to understand that we weren't raised this way, and you're going to have to love us through, and we're going to fight you along the way. I mean, are you really saying that what he was saying is acceptable position for men?
I think, again, the point that he was trying to get across is that he is more than his wallet.
Everybody is more than their wallet. I get that.
Okay, so then what's the issue with him wanting women to accept that?
All right, we want to do this. I'll do it. You want women to accept you like he wants women to love him like he wanted his mama to love him, and that's not a woman's purpose in your life.
No, not like a mother would love you.
I said
but
he wanted his mother to love him. That's how he talked about how he was raised, and I wasn't raised to do this. I was raised to do that. His daddy did not raise him. His mama did. He got mama issues. And I'm sorry. I understand what you're trying to basically say, well, I understand where he's coming from, but I asked the men in the chat room, you guys heard him. Would you want to build a building with this guy? Would you want to go to war with this guy? Would you want to come out of a murder hole with this guy? And the men said no. So what I'm trying to understand as a woman is, why don't you just accept what the men are saying?
I think this is the main thing that I'm getting from it, right? This mindset that, it almost saying that there's nothing wrong with gold digging is what facilitates the culture that we're living in today.
Hold on.
And
M
so,
Boogie said, hold on. M Boogie says Kev just hate broke men. You goddamn right. Who the fuck should like broke men? You want to carry broke men's weight? What the fuck? Broke men should be. Yes, we need a world of broke men. You're right. Go ahead, Jessica.
see, I didn't say that. I can agree, right, that it's in a woman's nature, right? Biologically, it's in a woman's nature to seek provision. And that's built into women from their families, right? Just from when they're brought up, that is instilled in them that, okay, you want a guy who's going to be a provider, it's going to secure you a better life. Mm-hmm. So I get that part, but and that's a natural order, okay? Men typically want to provide and women want providers. That's the natural order of things. However, when we actually look in society, that natural order has been corrupted because the women aren't doing what's necessary for them to get that provision, and that's the problem.
I don't accept that.
I
don't accept that. Now, I will tell you that, Jessica, you say men want to provide. I will tell you that as a man who works with an average of at least 3 men a day, I'm telling you that's not true.
I think
I'm telling you, I work with men. I work with men every day, and there's a theoretical and then there's a practical. And when I'm dealing with
when I'm dealing with
many men, a lot of guys will say they want to do something. Then you start asking, well, okay, how many hours a week are you working? 38. How old are you? 40. How many jobs you have? 2. Did you go to a college degree? Yes. But you're working minimum wage job. Uh-huh. This is not uncommon. So there's the theoretical portion. But men who want when a man wants something, we go make them happen. See, there's a difference between wanting something and then willing to work to get it. That's the
Okay,
difference.
this is my thing though. You're putting it solely on the man and saying that he's wrong, but you're not
No, I'm
acknowledging
not.
the
That's
woman
that's what you're trying to get me to hold, and I won't hold that. I put it exactly the way I want to, and I just disagree. And like I
yeah,
said,
it's
when at the beginning of the show, there were dozens of men who responded. At the end of the day, what is your position? That it's on the women or to be better women?
I think so. Yeah, that's what I'm
Okay.
saying, because it's you addressed throughout what I heard, right? You addressed men particularly. You barely even touched on the woman,
That's not
but you
true.
addressed men and saying
Not
that
true. But okay.
they're not willing to provide, they're broke, they're this, that, and the other. And I'm saying, like, listen, it might not be that. It might just be that the women in today's society aren't worthy of provision. We haven't
Okay.
touched on that topic and
Well,
whether
no,
women
no,
actually
no, no.
deserve
Now,
it.
hold on. Okay. Now, say you didn't hear me, but that's not what I said, Jessica. I'm very,
Possibly, yeah.
Jessica. I'm very clear on what I say and why I say it. I hold men to task. I hold women to task. I accept the fact that you may not have heard that, but you're telling me that I did not say anything about women, and that's just false. Now, if your
I
position is, if hold on, if your position
yeah.
is that women today aren't worthy of provision of the majority of men, great. I don't hold that position. I said it at the end, and I'm going to get on to Barbie. Let's say, did you hear me say this? Let's say you have a group of delusional women, right? The majority, you have a group of delusional women. Men can still run society, but can you run a society with a group of delusional men? Thank you. Sugar
So
baby,
wait,
what's
there was a
going on?
question.
Hi. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, again, what's going on?
Okay, I want to share my experience. I was a sugar baby for like 4 years when I was in college. I
Mm-hmm.
started when I was a sophomore. I worked as a girl. I worked at a body wrap place. Then I upgraded. I worked at a full service place. And the men that I've encountered are men in their 50s, 60s, late 40s, businessmen, lawyers. And I got my first job out of college because one of the guys wrote me a letter of recommendation and helped me get an $80,000 job right out of college. And the one thing most of those men really needed was to be appreciated and needed. Those
Mm-hmm.
are the two things they need from their sugar baby. Everything else that women will tell you, you have to do this and that, is all bullshit. The core ingredient of your relationship is making sure they are needed and they are appreciated,
Hmm.
and making sure you are assertive in the things that you need from them and assert those values that they have to do it, and they have to respect you and not bullshit you, because every man will test you to see what you will tolerate from them, and they respect the ones who stand their ground and tell them, hey, this is what I'm worth, and for you to be with me, this is what you have to do. The ones that think you're worth it will stick around and give you what you need. The ones who don't think you're worth it are going to walk away, and that is okay, because you are not going to like every man that you meet, and not every man is going to like you. Some women try to make this so complicated, and it's not. It's very simple.
Right. So, like I
But
was saying up front, that when you deal with a sugar baby, it's a negotiation up front. And
it
people
is a
tend,
negotiation.
right, go ahead. And and human nature is people try to test lines. And there are lines that sugar daddies won't cross, and there are lines that sugar babies won't cross. But they understand
Exactly.
them up front. See, the problem is most folks don't know anything about this life, and they're projecting onto it. Um, it's like guys in the chat room. You don't like broke guys. Okay, so we should want broke men in the world. I don't understand a lot. A lot of you guys come across as though you don't understand that this world is not fair. that to the victor go the spoils. And the fact of the matter is, every one of you guys who are complaining about the norms or the way it is, are you competitive? Competitive men don't complain. They get better. So,
But
Jessica, I
I
didn't
have
want
a
to. I wanted
question
to go
for
ahead. I wanted to
you.
go ahead. Go ahead. I wanted to give Jessica a chance to round back to what she was saying because I wanted to get
Yeah,
you on. Go ahead, Jessica.
I don't feel as though what I was saying was making things complicated. It's you can even look at it in from a transactional point of view. Okay, so a man gives his provision in a relationship. A man gives his provision, and in return, he gets a woman who is feminine, submissive, and cooperative, nurturing, caring. Right? That's the transaction that we have going on, and it's quite simple. However, that simple transaction, because of society, it's been corrupted. It's not so simple anymore. And so you have women who are seeking the provision, however, they're not providing the femininity, the cooperation, the submissiveness. They're not nurturing, caring, or anything like that. And the other thing that I wanted to say is I think we're giving off the perception that when a woman is a sugar baby or a gold digger, that she's always upfront and truthful with her with what
We're
she's
speaking in
doing.
generalizations, Jessica. There are no
Can
absolutes.
I answer
Come on.
Jessica's
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
question,
Hold on. Hold on.
please?
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Look, there are no generalizations. There are no absolutes. So if you have something you want to say, that's fine. But stop trying to make people sit under something that's just not even fair. Go ahead.
Jessica, I understand what you are trying to say, but every man is different and every man have different emotional needs. Not all men want a submissive, extremely feminine woman, one dimensional. So there are actually men out there who don't like extremely feminine women. There are men out there who love it, and there are men who don't like what's the word called submissive. There are men who like aggressive women because most men in power actually like women who can speak their voice, tell them what they need, and put them in their place when it is needed. And a man will only invest in a woman that he seems as valuable. At the end of the day, that's point blank. So we can go back and forth and say, oh, women are not feminine, men are not this. It doesn't matter. If a man see that you're worth it, he will invest in you and give you what you need and step up to your standards. But
Let me ask.
sometimes
Hold
I
on, let me
always
ask.
the
Let me
game
ask.
has to,
Let me say something to all the guys
yeah.
in here who are on Jessica. She's doing this, doing it. How is it working in your life? Are you in control of your life? Anybody who's saying, "Well, she's making sense," that great. How's it working in your life? How are your interactions with the women that you deal with?
And Kevin, I
Hold
think
on, hold
that's the
on, hold
problem.
on, hold on, Jessica.
Sorry, yeah.
That's what I need to understand because I understand exactly what she's saying. I say that you can have your point of view, but there is a different reality for men than it is for women. There's a theoretical and there's a practical. And I live it practically. I have clients who live it practically. I see it. I don't just live on YouTube. I get out in the world and move around amongst a bunch of different men. And I will tell you that even though what you're saying, the society and the breakdown of the family and the social contract, all that is true. Then what? And that's the thing that men have to deal with. We are tasked with the then what? Because, like it or not, we are tasked with building society. They are not. They're tasked with nesting in society. So I'm not going to try to change or even get on the same page because my task and Jessica's task are two different ones in this world. Go ahead.
I
Well,
want to
Go
ask
ahead.
you a question, but I'm not sure if I can.
Well, the thing is, I don't want you guys. You want to ask Jessica a question?
No, you.
Oh, go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
That's why I called in.
Go
For
ahead.
me, the thing I'm struggling with, I'm trying to transition from that world into the real world, but it's actually a real struggle for me because of I'm used to the fast money, get money fast, spend money fast, live the fast life.
Yeah.
Now that I'm moving into the real world, I'm struggling to find a man because I'm actually always nervous that they will find out about my past. How do I navigate that? And what do I do? Do I tell them or do I just keep quiet? But
Well,
if I keep quiet, what if it comes up someday?
okay. So you're transitioning out of sugar baby into you're trying to become a soccer mom.
Yeah, and I have had some interesting pictures online, but I paid like $20,000 to this
It's
company,
okay.
and they tried
I
out
know women who are
everything.
escorts who are. I know women who are
Yes.
escorts who are actual well-known escorts who've transitioned. Here's the reality.
Hmm.
If you're trying to find a man a certain amount of means, he's going to do his due diligence on you anyway. You can scrub as much as possible. The thing is, um, I would say, where are you going? Why do you want what you want? And then where are you going to get it? Um, because that sugar baby lifestyle, that fast money lifestyle, is not the same thing. We go find a quote unquote Henry. It's going to be very different. And there are not a lot of suckers out there either. That's what I think a big misperception is that, you know, that you got guys who are making really, really good money and they are not logical men. They know why women are around them.
Hmm. They
Why
know,
did,
yes.
yeah. And the question is, how old are you? Let's start there. How old are you?
I am 27.
Okay. And do you want to be a wife?
Yes, that's actually my goal before I
Okay.
turned 30. I graduated from grad school last
Oh,
year, and
okay.
I'm working
So,
at a
what
finance
kind of
firm
wife do
right
you
now.
want to be? What kind of wife do you want to be? You want to be a stay-at-home wife, meaning you don't
I
have
want
to.
to I want to stay at home when my kids are younger, but when they turn 5, I want to go back into the real world.
Oh, what do you mean go back into the real world? Go work?
Like I want to have a career once my kids get a little older.
Career doing what?
I studied finance and I studied entrepreneurship in grad school.
Uh huh.
So I want to do something. Maybe right now I'm working at a financial company, but eventually I want to have my own business, do my own thing and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Well,
But I want
I would
to.
tell you basically based on what I'm hearing, you're gonna have a real hard time because one,
Uh,
you come from a sugar baby lifestyle where you're in control of your own moves. You have a grad degree, already works
yes,
against you. And then you say, I want a man who, and let's be real, you don't want a broke man. You want a man with significant six figures. But yet you still
yes.
want to be able, but yet you still want to be able to go out. And after your kids get school age, you want to go be back out. Those kind of
I
men,
want to do that.
hold
If
on,
my man,
listen. Men at that level are not looking for a woman. You have a plan. You want a man to sit in. You want a wife. You're not
yes.
trying to be a wife.
Hmm.
That ain't gonna work. That's not gonna. And you're 27, and you have this background and risky pictures. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
The
See,
pictures, okay, the pictures are deleted. I spent
I don't care
$20,000
if
and
they're. I
everything.
don't care if they're deleted or not. The fact of the matter is, man, you cannot. Okay, you want the benefits of being a traditional feminine woman in a new masculine role. You want a. You want a wife.
Hmm.
Why do you want your children once they're school age for you to go back and start a career? Why do you want to do that? If you already got a husband that can take care of everything, why do you want to do that?
Well, it depends. If I have a husband who can really, really take care of me and the kids, and I don't need to work,
Why
I
would you
am not
not marry?
going to
Why would
work.
you marry a man who can't do that and give him kids?
No, I said if I find a man who can do that, I will not need to go back to work, but I don't want to give up everything, all my power
There
to a
you
man.
go. There
That
you
scares
go.
me.
There you go. Thank you. You want to.
That
There you go.
scares me.
Hold on. Hold on. I know what I heard when I heard it, and I'm
Hmm.
calling bullshit.
Hmm.
You want a fool.
No, I just want things
Yes,
on
you
my
do.
terms.
No, no, exactly. That's right. You want things on your term. And guess what? If you could have things on your term, you would have had it already because you've already had plenty of high level men. How come you haven't cashed out before 27?
Oh, no, no, no. I don't want to be married to those men. Number two, most of them were older, like in their 50s and
Who
60s.
the
They were
fuck do
not.
you think makes this kind of money, ma'am? 20-year olds? See, this is
Okay,
Jessica, this
so,
is what I'm talking about. The delusional woman. See, the world can have these, but we can't have men
Yeah.
acting like this. This is fucking delusional. You want a complete total package, but yet then you want the ability to go squirt out some kids, then you want to go right back in the corporate world because at the end of the day, You don't want to really rely upon a man, depend upon a man. You want to control all the cards. And the guys that I know will stay away from you. They spot you coming and you'll think they're not messing with you because you were a sugar baby, because you had risque pictures. No, they're not going to mess with you because you're a bad bet. I am not a therapist and I can tell all kind of shit is wrong with this. There's no way in the hell I would justify having any guy that has any kind of means to touch you. Because you don't want to be married to be a wife. You want to be married. No, 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 no. Stay in the sugar baby world, stack your money, and get you a boy toy. Because to get a real masculine provider male, you're looking for a sucker, a beta male provider. Mm-mm. Don't deal with those.
Okay, so what do you think I should work on to get to my goals? Because
Why do
I
you
already
think? Why
made
do
the
you think
money.
so
I
little
have
of
the
men?
savings.
My thing is this: why do you think so little of men?
Well, what I have experienced with them, that my experiences have made me think so little of them because
Okay,
I've seen what they've done behind the.
such as,
Okay,
such as.
Wow.
Hold on.
leaving their wives and children at home, coming to see someone, lying to their families,
Okay,
and all those things. I have
okay,
been the woman on the other side, and I have experienced it. I know
okay.
what
So
these
let me
men are
ask you a let me
capable of
ask you a
because
question.
I
Let me ask you
unraveled
a
a
question. Let me
man.
ask you a question. Let me ask you a
Yeah, yeah,
question.
yeah.
One, why were
Mm.
you dealing with sugar daddies like that?
Why was I dealing with them?
Yes.
Because money.
Right.
It
So
was good.
Jessica, I put you on mute because I want to have this conversation. Yes, but you have the right of refusal. Yet you chose to deal with sugar daddies that lack character because of the money.
Most men that get in this hobby lack
No, ma'am,
character.
that is not true.
Most.
No, ma'am,
That
that
is
is not.
fact.
No, ma'am,
Because
that
they
is
have
no,
families, they have
no, ma'am,
children.
no,
They're
ma'am, no,
outliers.
ma'am, that is not.
Outliers.
No, ma'am, that is not true. And I'm not going to let you put that bullshit out here about most men. Those men that you decide to work with. I know more. I know too many guys that are not this way. And when I was out there, I wasn't this way. You took the highest bidder and you didn't worry about character. So don't pretend to try to make character an issue now when you were involved in adultery, when you were involved in being a mistress. The nerve of you. But let me go ahead and move on to the next subject. Because of the men you've chosen to interact with, what kind of therapy have you actually gotten on an individual level?
I I'm actually going right now. I have been going for 6 months now,
Good, good.
and it
Because,
has it. One thing I realized is that I had a lot of daddy issues. I guess
yes,
that's why I was very
yes,
attracted to most of
yes,
them. I was using them to fill that hole and
yes.
gap, and I'm realizing that now. But in a few years, I actually want to move on to the next chapter of my life,
Stop right there. Stop
and
right there. Stop right there. Stop right there. Stop right there. Let me get. I need you to focus on what I'm about to say. Right? Okay.
okay.
You don't get to put a clock on this. You are
Mm.
27. You have daddy issues, and you've only been in counseling for 6 months. You don't get to say in 2 years, I'm ready to move on. You're ready to move on when you work the process. If it's 2 years, it's 2 years. If it's 15, it's 15. But at the end of the day, the woman that's on this phone right now, you have a negative opinion of men. And no
Okay.
man and no man deserves to have to deal with a woman like that,
Mm.
especially a man with resources.
You know, listening to this conversation, the first thing that stood out to me was Jessica talking about how certain men aren't providers. But the truth is this: a man isn't going to provide for a woman who doesn't bring value. Providers invest in things that make sense, and that applies to women too. Everyone wants a high value partner, but nobody wants to admit when they aren't offering anything worth choosing. And then Barbie jumps in, admitting she used to be a sugar baby. That's a whole different world. Fast money, no discipline, no long-term thinking. And now she's scared a real man might find out about her past. That's the part people avoid. Your past doesn't disappear just because you're ready for something new. But here's the bigger point. Women talk a lot about wanting better men, but being a better woman is part of the equation too. You can't outrun accountability. If you want a man who invests in you, you've got to become the kind of woman worthy of investment. Because at the end of the day, the past can shape you, but it doesn't have to imprison you unless you
With
refuse to grow.
resources. Again, ma'am,
So
if
you
you're in, again,
so,
man, I want you to listen to what I'm about to say. If you are in therapy for the last 6 months, the one question I asked you, you did not take accountability. I asked you, why did you choose to deal with men who up front you knew what they were, married, whatever, whatever. You could have chosen to say, I don't deal with guys like that. I only deal with unmarried men. You could have chosen that. Yes.
married men are more generous.
I didn't. Right. So the
And
answer
I was
is,
just about my money.
but the direct answer is yes. I could have chosen to deal with non-married men, but married men are more generous. Is that a yes or no question?
Yes,
Right. So you
that's
chose
the
to
yes.
deal with married men. Yes or no?
I yes.
Okay. Then stop sounding like you have a moral high ground when you chose to deal with a married man.
I mean, I'm not saying I have a high moral ground. I'm just saying my experience, and this is what my experience was.
You
So
chose
you
your
think I
experience,
should
ma'am.
say,
You
you
chose
think
your
I should say, yeah,
you
I
chose
chose
your
my
experience.
experience,
So
and
why,
I have
if it
reaped
was,
the
if
reward for
my
it.
question is this,
Tremendously.
man. My question is this, really. If ultimately you knew one day you wanted to get out of this game,
Hmm.
you chose to mess around with married men, knowing it was having when you could have chose to take less money and deal with unmarried men. You
Hmm.
chose the money.
Hmm.
You're a horror
Yes.
story waiting to happen because it's all on the men. Come back and listen to this show.
Hmm.
I'm not even looking at the comment section. Come back and listen to this show. It's all been on the men. Your negative impact, your negative impression of men is because of your experience with men, but you are 100% in control of who you decide to interact with. No one put a gun
Hmm.
to your head and said you had to go with married men.
Hmm.
No one. So what you're really afraid of, honestly, is one, daddy issues. Two, you're afraid of that karma and chickens coming home to roost. You're afraid that you get with one of these provider kind of men, and then some new young sugar baby is gonna be fucking and sucking your boyfriend, your husband on the side. That's why you want to go back to work, because if you find that out happens, you want to run his ass through the family court system, take all his shit, and still have some of your stuff to go with. You are a problem. There's no way in hell I would recommend any of my guys get anywhere near you. You're a fucking nuclear Chernobyl disaster. Stay in counseling. Leave good men the fuck alone. You don't qualify for one from your own moral choices.
Right.
We all have to deal with what we have to deal with. And see, if there were men on the other side, I would tell them similar things. But you don't get to just decide to shake it all off and then to expect to go get a upstanding man. No, it's not how that works, man.
So that's
But
not
there,
how that works.
no,
Okay.
but kudos to you for being in therapy. Stay in therapy, let work the therapy, and then when you are really ready to take accountability for yourself and your choices, and you can say, yeah, then you'll be more likely, you'll be more capable of finding something that's going to be fulfilling to where you won't need a plan B or an exit strategy. That's
So
what
do
that's
you
what that
think
job is.
if I reach that place mentally and emotionally, should I be honest about the past or should I just keep it to myself?
I would say be honest. Honesty
Be
always
honest.
works. We live in a
Okay.
connected digital world, and here's the thing: um, you'll be amazed. Many guys, come on, man. If you're a beautiful woman, guys expect beautiful, powerful men to be. If you're a beautiful woman, guys expect powerful men with resources to be around you. It's not uncommon, but you're judging it harshly. I would say you're judging it harshly in large part due to your current mind state. Give it some time, ma'am. You're 27. You've only been in 6 months. Give it a couple of years, and then you'll come back and you may realize that I look at this completely different. It's still too new for you right now. Okay.
Okay, I will give that a shot.
Thank you. All right. Bye bye. I'm going to unmute you, Jessica, and I'm going to Jessica. Go ahead and unmute yourself. All right. I don't know what's going on in the chat room at this point, but understand something. Um, that's the caller makes a good point about a gold digging lifestyle. ladies, you cannot get past accountability. You are free. You have the right to vote. Women, you are the freest any group of women has ever been in recorded history. And with freedom comes responsibility. You cannot make men responsible for your poor choices. And women who are beautiful and have access to resources, you have access to some of the best mental and physical care. You should your brain is your biggest asset. This determines what you get in your life. So, at the end of the day, ladies, um, one of the biggest things guys really dislike when women do not take accountability for their choices, because the world holds us accountable. You want to ensure that you want to ensure that you deal with a lesser caliber or character of men. Keep playing those games. Go ahead, Jessica. Go ahead.
Um, yeah, I was just going to say that is exactly the type of woman that I was talking about in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
She solely was looking at men as a walking wallet,
Yeah.
essentially. What they can do for her. She actually said herself that she was kind of disgusted by these men. She looked down on them,
Mm-hmm.
but the only reason that she did it is for the money. And these women are becoming more and more abundant in today's society. And that's why I was saying I understand why men are holding back their provision, because a lot of these women aren't deserving. They're simply there to try and get what they can get from them. And then on top of that, she wants to turn it all around now and simply erase her past, like
Mm-hmm.
basically lie and be deceptive in order to try and secure a husband who she wants to dominate also.
Well, and
So
here's the thing: those women, I know they exist. They do, and just like I diagnosed her, men who have something, it is your responsibility to guard the something you have. So, however you have to do it, but I don't deny everything that just happened. They exist, and then what? Those kind of women, I don't deal with. I deal with them here, but I don't deal with them in my real life because put it this way: in my day to day life, I ask questions. So yeah, I get it. We're not separated on the fact that the world is what it is. It's then what do you get out of here? That's really what it comes down to. All things being equal, what do you get? And men, we are held. We have the highest burden because of the way the court system and everything else. I get all that. So that means you need to structure your life in a way, guys, that's going to give you protection and still being able to walk around out there, not just saying everything out there is bad. Because where does that lead? Go ahead. I'm gonna give you a final thing, and then I'm gonna get up out of here because it's getting late.
okay, yeah, I was just going to say quickly, and I appreciate that you encouraged her to be honest about her past, but
Oh
her
yeah.
intention is to be dishonest. And so when a guy comes across her in, just everyday life,
Mm-hmm.
she's going to lie and deceive to try
Yes.
and again take what she can from him. And
Mm-hmm.
so it becomes harder for guys to distinguish between the actual good girl and the woman who's playing the good girl,
Mm-hmm.
trying to erase her past and take advantage of them. And so again, I understand why men are holding back, in the sense of they don't want to just be a walking wallet or simply there for the provision, and so they're taking steps in order to protect themselves from becoming that guy.
There
And
you
that
go.
that was my point. I understand it.
Appreciate it,
But
Jessica.
thank you for having me on, Kevin.
No problem.
All
And
right,
guys,
bye.
bye bye. And guys, look, man, I'm out here with you. I'm out here with you. And this is one thing I'll say in particular to black men. Our non-black counterparts, our non-black male counterparts, this you can learn a lot from. Why did I invoke Tom Likas? You don't think Tom Likas for the last 20 years have not had a bevy of hot young blondes in LA trying to get off on that radio money, thinking that they had the magic for JJ that was going to get in his wallet, and he told story after story after story of no, no, no. That's the attitude you need to develop to be able to keep that stuff away from you. But here's the thing: that if Tom Likas ever did say, you know what, I found me one and I decided to put her on the payroll or keep her around, he had relationships. but they had their time. But he knew what they was dealing with, and that's where I need guys ultimately. Don't stop being a provider because because it's going to hurt you. I want you to have all the access, all the resources that you need to be able to make the demands. And if they start acting like the caller or like any of these other thinking you're a sucker, pull the lever, push the button, eject them. You got more options that way versus if you are out here saying, you know what, um, I'm not going to even get out there and deal with stuff. You should be able to live your life. I hate seeing guys sit back on their hands thinking that you can't do anything about this world. You can do something about your world in particular. You can't do anything about the caller, but you can do something about your world. All right. Thank you for the caller. Thank you for Jessica. Thanks for folks joining in. I didn't see what was going on in the chat room, so I hope it was all right.